good burning fire pit. Burning a bunch of stuff I had trimmed. Some scrap wood that's not big enough to do anything with. Great way to discard of it, just burn it. Hey Jeff, welcome in. How are you? It's been so wet here since Saturday. I figured it was safe enough to actually light a wood fire. I do got some decent logs on it, but I'm also burning some scrap wood and then stuff that I had trimmed up in my landscaping. I did some major trimming last fall, but all fall and last winter it was too dry to light anything, dry or windy. Hey Mike, good to see you. Yeah, I don't have this scrap wood cut down to size, so once it burns off the edges, I can stuff it back in the middle. Yeah, and everything was so wet, so what I did is I laid down some charcoal, soaked it in lighter fluid, and just lit it up. It looks more radical than what it is. It's a good sized fire, but it's all completely contained in the fire pit. Yeah, and once that one big piece of that wafer board burns up, and then I'll start scooting some more of the brush that had burned in half into the center. But it seems like that wafer board, it's completely drenched, so, but it'll light. It'll eventually light and fall apart. But I got a couple hackberry and mesquite logs in there, so it'd burn up. And plus, it's starting to drizzle here again, so, or more like a mist. So this fire is definitely, it wouldn't be able to go anywhere. Also, right when I first started this thing, I was like, my God, how smoky it was. Of course, in a little bit, I'm going to get up and mess with the fire. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's the one thing, all the counties around here were in burn bans. And, well, right now, there is no risk of this getting out of control. But when I first started it, between the wood being wet and that, it was a bit brighter, but it was very smoky. I was waiting for one of the neighbors to come by and say, "Is your house on fire?" Hello, Angie. Welcome in. I actually had thought of doing this last night, but around this time yesterday, we had some thunderstorms come in, and our rain was coming down. Yeah, I wouldn't roast marshmallows over this. Not with the wafer board and the fence board. And if this drizzle picks up a little more, I'm going to reposition and sit inside the shed. But right now it's pretty much tolerable. Now, if I just had the straight mesquite logs on it, that would be perfect for roasting hot dogs or doing some marshmallows on. It'd be good for that. But what I got on it right now, there's a lot of trashy stuff. Yep, making s'mores. Dang, you do the s'mores right and you get that perfect char on the outside of the marshmallow. It is delicious. Not something I would eat every day. Yeah, we could. You, you want to strike up the chorus, Barry? Hello, Chris. Welcome in. The other thing is I got fairly new neighbors to one side of me, and I don't think they've ever seen me light this pit up. So I hope they don't freak out. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Too wet to bring the guitar out here, though. Saying hi to each other. Yeah, I'm waiting for that one board to start breaking up, and it hasn't even. It looks like it's just starting to light on both sides. It's got a lot of steam coming off it. It got pretty well soaked. Yeah, I'm gonna relocate. That drizzle is picking up. Yes, started getting enough drizzle that I was getting wet. Hello, Ruby, Russian Wind Mountain. Welcome in. Hey, Todd Longinus, welcome in. Good to see you. How are you? If y'all want to check out some really nice builds and some very fine woodworking, check out Todd's channel, Todd Longinus. You know, he's very creative. Uh, we're in the 60s today. It's been raining all day long. It's been misty. Yesterday we were in the 50s, but we had thunderstorms. When it was really the colder weather here, it was way too dry to even try to light this. And if I would have went to light it, you know, I don't think I could have controlled the fire. Too much of a risk of setting other stuff on fire, other unintentional things, and that could have caused me a lot of problems. All right. Yeah, none of this stuff is cut to size, so I'm just gonna let the fire burn it in half. Then I can go around the edges and stuff it back in. Definitely have to have a shovel with the fire. Hey, Matt out here, welcome in, good to see you. Yeah, I'm taking advantage of this wet weather and lighting a fire pit. You get some good storms last night, Matt? Yes, and it's good that we're getting it. Hello, Paulo. Welcome in. Hey, Dennis. Well, have a good night, Dennis. I don't know if you came in earlier or not. Yeah, got this going. Of course, with the lensing on the camera, it looks more radical than what it really is. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's stuff I had been meaning to get rid of. Just burn it off. Burn it and you're done. Eventually, I will have to dig this fire pit back out, and what I do is I spread it around on the granite area. Sometimes there's things that are not quite burned, or if I'm burning lumber, then I'll find nails and stuff in it. Hey, Luke, welcome in. Just here, enjoying the fire pit. Yeah, scattered on each side is some more big groups of trimmed up wood, and then I got some other scrap wood that was left by having the fence built. And I'm burning it too. And the nice thing, it has the drizzle coming down, so there's no possible way those embers could catch something. Or it would definitely be something very freaky if that happened. You know, years ago, I used to sit out with a friend of mine. His name was Lou Perez, and we'd sit out here and have jam sessions around the fire pit. Hang out, have us some cold snacks, and play the guitar. We'd have a good time, but unfortunately, um, around last Thanksgiving, that guy Lou passed away from throat cancer. He'd also the last couple years had some legal problems. Oh yeah, and just the fire itself, it just makes it so nice just to hang out. But this last winter, with the ongoing drought around here, it was just way too dry to even attempt lighting anything. And I just was not going to take that chance. Yeah, it is, especially being in it for about 4 years. Hopefully, we get some regular rain after this. I would like to see some things. I would like to see the groundwater recover, the rivers and some of the reservoirs recover. If you don't get the recovery of the groundwater, the reservoirs and rivers, they may go up after a good rainfall, but they won't stay that way until their main sources at the springs are recharged. Yeah, Matt out here has some really good content on his channel. You know, and he's had some stuff go on and hasn't been able to make anything recently, but he's doing similar sort of stuff that I do with the natural areas around Texas. God, some of that wood is really popping and throwing stuff. Yeah, I could probably push more stuff into the center. Let's see how that works. Hope I don't grab something hot. Some wet cardboard. And when that light's good, it's gonna go up. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good sized stack, but it'll light up and burn. Hello, Kissy Cat. Welcome in. Yeah, appears like I got a good hot base to this fire because what I just added on there is lighting. You know, it's been sitting there and it's been wet. Hey, Kissy Cat, you been getting rain in Houston? Usually when we get rain here, then Houston gets a lot. In fact, there was some flooding, I think more on the northeast side of San Antonio. Yeah, we got some good thunderstorms here yesterday, and then God, this thing's throwing some embers. Got some good thunderstorms here last night, and we've been getting rain since Saturday. A lot of the time it's been light rain to mist to drizzle, but this area definitely needs a good soaking. Yeah, there too. I mean, that's a good area of Texas because Blanco, I think, is about 60, 70 miles north of me. Arson. Ferguson. Yep, like that, the berry. Oh yeah, definitely, Todd. Hi. No, I think parts of San Antonio got like 4 to 5 inches. I think my area, I used to keep a rain gauge, but I have yet to replace it. I just don't think of it, when I'm at a store to go do it. And but I'm guessing over the last several days, I've probably got better than 2 inches of rain here. Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit, but once that wood burns down, well, I'll throw some more of the scrap stuff on it. I got a bunch of trimmed up stuff from a cedar elm, the Saniso, Texas mountain laurel, and then I had a dogwood tree die on me. And I think it seemed to do fine the last few years. This year, after winter, it just never came back. So I went and had to cut that to the ground. And then I still got a bunch of wood because I used to always get wood from my former workplace. and I still had a bunch of that wood, because I had not been able to light this. I was kind of missing having a good wood fire, so. But I thought of doing lives by the fire pit, so I went ahead and got me a mini one. Yeah, some of those fencing slats have just burned in half. I'll let this fire settle down a little bit before I go and mess with it. And that's going to be a while. It's it's going to be a mighty hot fire right next to it. Of course, I could always use the shovel and push it in. Yeah, some good pine logs would be great to burn out here. I mean, pine while burning and the mountain cedar, you know, they actually smell quite good when they're burning. But then again, your hardwoods smell pretty good too. I like burning more of a trashy hardwood. I don't think it's good for anything much else than other than just to burn it is hackberry. Yeah, I knew that old fencing wood. I mean, right now, I mean, I don't even want to be near the smoke of this fire with that stuff burning. But it's a great way to get rid of the scraps. They're burned to ash. They're reduced in volume by quite a bit. Well, good night, Matt. Thank you for coming in. I hope your recovery's going well, and hope to meet you one of these days. Yeah, Matt and I have talked and messaged over other social media. He seems like a great guy, you know. Has some awesome videos. Yeah, Jackie's boys sitter used to be my mom and my sister. But since my mom has, what do they call those people that come in and there's a name for them. They come in, they're medical people, and they come and they stay with her a while. And Jackie boys, being a little leery of strangers, are like, no, we would have to lock him up for about 4 or 5 hours, and they didn't want to do that. So I don't really have a sitter anymore for Jackie Boy. But what was real fortunate when we went to Fort Stockton for that event, the guy who is the director of the Fort Stockton and the Annie Riggs Museum, he's a dog person. Even his own dogs were at the event. So Jackie Boy was welcome there. I he enjoyed running around there until they started doing the firing the shotguns and the cannons. After that, then he wanted no part of that event anymore. He was done. You know, actually, Jackie Boy's fine with cats. He grown up. He grew up with two cats, and around that time, I'd gotten a third cat. So he has been with cats his whole life. It's interesting. I got a cat that's about the same age as him, and he, him and her, I think, have kind of a love-hate relationship. You know, they they're like, don't get too close to me. But then again, you know, when I come home and they've both been inside, I'll come in and see them laying a couple feet away from each other. So so they're at least used to each other. You know, my mom was really big on cats, but she also loved dogs too. I used to have this lab mix, and she was such a good girl. But that dog just loved my mom. You ever think of a miniature pinscher, Todd, or a Boston Terrier, or a Labradoodle? Oh yeah, a lot of times that's all the dog wants to do, and that there are some cats that don't have a problem with the dog. They can be perfectly fine with them. Auto mistake. That's what I call it. Yeah, the autocorrect gets you sometimes. Also, sometimes when it's unusual spelling. Another time, I recall this, using some of the more technical terms. And the autocorrect doesn't always pick up on those either. Yeah, cats are kind of funny about that. A lot of times they don't grab it. It's got to be on the ground, and they kind of do more of a licking to it before they consume it. Or I should say most cats. Ooh, that was hot. That's all thin trim stuff. It's not going to last very long. It'll fire up big time, but it'll burn through just in a few minutes. Kind of nice to get to have this thing lit up. It has been too long. Okay, well, I'm so pleased that you are, Ruby. Cracklewood Country Club. That would be cool. I think that'd be a nice name. And when I'm hiking, I hiking in the wintertime, I need a name on my back saying Cedar Whacker. Hello, Ghost Riders. Welcome in. Good to see you. Hello, Deb and Mike. I didn't see you pop up, but welcome in. Good to see y'all too. Yeah, Deb and Mike had an interesting video, and it is actually kind of cool to hear about people's personal history, and they really did a nice thing about putting some personal history on one of their videos. That was really cool to hear about. Yeah, I'm not certain what San Antonio would be. Um, I don't have to really worry about that too much because I'm actually not in the city limits. I'm actually in the county, but it's very, very much under the influence of San Antonio here. I mean, the city limits is not very far away at all. And there are some really nice propane ones, even some good sized ones. And I got the mini one that runs off the pit, but I've actually thought of getting the larger size propane one. So if we're in a burn ban, I could still use it because it's not going to be throwing any embers out. The other thing is if it's very windy, even if we're not in a burn ban and it's been dry and it's fairly windy, I still won't light this pit, even though we may not be in a burn ban. But I just don't ever want to set someone else's property on fire with doing this. And since tonight I think we're going to be drizzly all night long. When I decide to go in and the logs have burned down the coals, I tend to just leave it be and let it burn itself out. Because when it's way down the coals, they're really a low risk of anything happening. No, what I like doing when I do a normal burn with it, not this brushy stuff I'm burning off in the scrap wood. I like to set a good pile of wood up and get an initial start up on it and let it burn hot and bright for the first hour or so, and then after that I'm just adding a log or two at a time, and I I can have a nice fire all evening long, and and when I'm using a decent wood in it, we have done stuff: roasted hot dogs, marshmallows, you know, we just have used up used this fire pit. You know, it's been one of the things I bought that I've gotten a lot of use out of it, and I have had this thing for several years. Come to think of it, I think I've had this thing for about 10 years. And then when I kind of did a re-landscaping of this area, and I did basically a circular thing with the decomposed granite. I just found roughly what the center was of the fire pit, drove a stake in it, used a string to guide where I was putting the spray paint down, and that's how I basically made my circle around the fire pit. Of course, I did some offsets, the entrance to the shed and the entrance to the back door. That was quite an undertaking, and putting that decomposed granite back there, it took us several days, and I had a lot of help from that jam session friend Lou. So when we put that down, see all that brushy stuff I put up there, it's already been consumed. Almost forgot that I had brushy stuff behind the shed. Oh, really cool, you know. You know, hockey does look like a cool sport. You know, earlier on, it was, I mean, drizzly, but quite windy. Now, by looking at the flames, it doesn't look like it's as windy as it was. Of course, when I say that, then the breeze moves it. Yeah, a good thing is I needed to get rid of all that brush and scrap wood here. Then I got some cleanup I need to do on that center of that crushed granite. What I have to do is, you know, use some weed killer in that, and then I got a 500,000 BTU torch that after I kill the weeds off, I can just burn the tops off and then kind of heat the granite up, and then after that use a pre-emergent herbicide. Yes, she does. It's been a while since we've sat around the fire pit. You know, uh, of course now we've been doing different stuff over the weekends now. Uh, the one thing that tied her up a lot was having to run her daughter back and forth to work. But now the her daughter's been driving, and we've been able to get free on the weekends and do some different stuff. And hello, Troy, and welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, it's good to be able to light the actual pit for once. And of course, I don't know how long this is going to last because after this rain quits, we could be back into the dry, the dry conditions. Yeah, crushed soda can. Now there used to be a game. I think they'd use a ball and something similar to the hockey sticks, and I believe it's street hockey. But speaking of that, this time recently, I was at one of the local parks, and there was a group there, and they were playing cricket. Yeah, I'm like, after it raining all these days, and in fact, it's drizzling right now. So, you know what? It'll be safe enough to light the fire pit. Yeah, and it had been a while since I lit it too. Um, the one thing is, some of the better wood I had is what I got from my former workplace, and I still have it. I just haven't burned it. Some of it I still need to cut and split, but there are some of the logs that are just ready to go in. Or I can do that thing and just angle them in and let the fire cut them apart. I've done that enough. That's kind of what I've been doing with this brushy stuff. I just let the fire burn the ends off and then push the rest of it in once it burns through them. Well, it drizzle's picking up, but that's burning hot enough. It's not going to affect it at all. Hi, Alan. Welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, this is my basic yard trimming and scrap wood fire. Could weight it down by throwing a big piece of hackberry on it. It's pretty hot, but looking at the fire, with my own eyes, and then looking at the view from the phone, what's on the phone makes it look a lot, a lot more extreme than what it really is. But it's burning nice. Yeah, after this, it's the burned off ends is what I'll be tossing in. I've gotten most of the trim stuff thrown on the fire, and then I got all of the scrap wood that I wanted to get in there burned up. It's on the fire right now. Yep, and the stuff I'm burning right now, it will blaze up pretty good, but it'll burn through it really quickly. And it's just stuff I needed to get cleared. So I took advantage of the wet weather and just went ahead and just said, time to light this thing up. I'm going down in a blaze of glory. I was actually thinking of a stick song, Barry, and it's the one called Light Up, Everybody. Join in the celebration. I still thought at first when I lit this thing up, it was so smoky in the initial light up. I was like, am I going to have the neighbors calling the fire department on me? I do know the neighbors next door were outside, and talking, but they didn't try to do anything or get my attention. Uh, which lake are you going to? Is it Somerville? Well, I'm glad we've gotten this rain. I'm definitely glad we got this. We really needed it. Oh, nice. Yeah. The closest Well, the closest lake to me is Bernie City Lake, but the other lake really close to me is Medina Lake, and Medina Lake has been it's been empty for the last several years. It really wasn't the best stream to build a lake on. This one thing, the lake itself, I mean the river that feeds it's not a very big river, and its flows vary so much. Fire! Yep, I know what song you're talking about, Todd. Or we could go to Dockin and say, "Into the fire, I'm falling." Hello, honey, welcome in. Just kind of sitting out. I'm actually doing a cleared brush fire. Cleared brush and scrap wood. Oh, really? Well, right here it's actually it's light rain, but not enough to affect this fire. And this area has been under a severe drought for about 4 years, and but I finally got enough rain and rain over the last several days. I was able to fire this up. And you're getting it's interesting in the late 60s. I lived in San Bernardino, California. My dad was stationed on Norton Air Force Base. I was very young. Hello, Richard Green. Welcome in. Good to see you. Just enjoying the night. First time I was able to light the real fire pit. It had been a while since I've been able to light this. Getting close to the time for me to push some of that stuff in. I'll give it just a minute or two. No, no, you can't. You know, I like those nights that it's right around freezing. You know, you're outside, got the fire pit lit, your cold snacks don't get warm, and just had the fire going. Okay, Todd, thank you for coming in. No, no, you can't. Well, that's definitely what my channel is, the outdoor channel. But I also do some stuff that I support my fiance Joanne, who's who is Humano. She's Native American, and we do a lot of the Native American events, along with powwows, historic sites. Times where she goes and represents. We have a really good time about that. I don't understand the question. Oh, that sounds great, Richard. That really does. When we were in Fort Stockton, we uh, we caught the rodeo parade, the Comanche Springs Rodeo. I actually live streamed that, and then at the same time I was taking a video of it, and so did Joanne. So it ended up on both the live stream and the video. And years ago, Joanne was the Grand Marshal at the Martha Lights Festival Parade. And then one of the other years when she was there, she was in the parade, but she was walking with Jackie Boy. So Jackie Boy has actually participated in a parade. Oh, that would be cool. You know, I have included some museums on the videos I've done. There's one, the Medina County Museum, the one in Bandera County. I did both of those with Frank's EC channel and Donnie from Martin's RV channel. And I've also done the Fort Clark Springs Museum. It was part of a bigger video. Time to tend to the fire. Should have paid attention where I put the shovel at. This is the area I've been getting smoked out at. I'll just let the rest it. Still misting out here. Hey Jim, welcome in. Yeah, I think that happens to all of us, you know. Hopefully I won't have to ever deal with being interviewed by anybody again. You know, interviewed for any position, you know. You know, uh, that makes me think of when I was working, I was in a position where I could, I was in charge of, you know, hiring people, and when someone had to be turned down, um, you do it compassionately. Yeah, there's no need for that, Jim. That's unfortunate. You know, some people get laser focused on what they're doing, and they quit thinking of, how how it could be towards the individual. I do recall getting turned down for positions because of a group of people. They basically had their own buddy system going and getting turned down by that. But eventually it caught up with them. And it ended up it ended up where they were affected, and some of them even lost their employment. And I usually say I'm sorry about when that happens to people, but when they were just hiring all in a buddy system or a clique, and then it eventually caught up. That is definitely one of the good things, and if Jeff is still here, them having human resource people, and that kind of has cut a lot of that down, except for except for some very small businesses. Oh, it looks like I can push a little more of this brush into the center. Made sure the shovel was close by and uh, leaving it. things just don't want to cooperate and get into the fire. Hey, hello, welcome in, my friend. How are you doing? Yeah, finally got wet enough here that I can burn the real fire pit. Kevin DeLevy? You mention Levy, I think of the Led Zeppelin song, "When the levee breaks, we have no place to go." Or, "Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the spirits were dry." Or you're saying autocorrect changed Kevin to Levy. Yeah, I can't see how that would happen either. That's actually pretty weird. Well, after all this brush and stuff is gone, the next time I do a live from the fire pit, I will be actually using some decent wood. But I really needed to get rid of all this stuff. It was all piled up back here. It was outright mess. But I meant to be able to burn it last winter, but we're just too dry to be lighting it up. And then I had to do some more additional trimming in that, and then I was like, this is really stacked up back here. But after several days of rain, I said there's no risk of this fire going anywhere, or a very low risk of it, I should say. But this winter, I would have been afraid of any of the embers flying off somewhere. They definitely could have caught the field behind me on fire, and also plus the county having burn bans, so it would have become a legal and a liability thing just to even light the fire pit, and it just not worth it. How many of y'all recognize that sound? If y'all heard it. Hey, yep, Jeff's got it. No, I'll say this. I enjoyed a lot of the music from the '70s, and I still listen to a lot of it from that time period. Of course, '70s going into the '80s, but what I like about the '70s music is what was being produced music wise was pretty much done by musicians. And the later part of the '70s is when the business people started making it a money earning thing for the record companies. Of course, it really already was, but they went more so, and I just thought music was much better before that. A lot of that's my own opinion too. I mean, there's still good stuff and talented artists coming out today, but there's a lot that's affected too because in the '70s you had to be able to sing, you had to be able to play the instrument, and you had to be able to write the music. But you got that auto tune and everything else, and it's just different. You know, I think it bypasses true talent. Taco Bell. San Antonio does have some really good Mexican food places, and I mean, you'll hear people talk about San Antonio, and they mention a couple of the tourist restaurants downtown. And here, the local people in San Antonio are like, you know what, avoid those places. One of my favorite Mexican restaurants, and it's not very far from me, and it's called Apetitos. I've even shouted them out in a couple of my videos. Yeah, but I know the owners, and I've been going there for a very long time. It's a very nice place. And if we would have had the time, Jeff, when you were in town, I would have taken you there to Apetitos. But that restaurant we ate at the Riverwalk, that was actually pretty good. I had never been there. Yes, so did I, Troy. Yeah, and speaking, you mentioned the buffalo. Last week, the Texas Tribal Buffalo Project had their harvest, but they had it set up in a weird way, so we didn't attend it. But I'm certain that uh, they will have another event coming up, and I definitely will let you know ahead of time, Troy, if you're interested in going to one of the events with the Texas Tribal Buffalo Project. Yeah, the weather was already warming up. We we had some days that were getting actually hot, and then Jeff shows up last Saturday, and he brings the Providence, Rhode Island weather to San Antonio. We need to get Jeff to come visit here in August so we can do that again. Oh yeah, I know that very well. Oh, definitely, boy. Very interesting place, and they will also be very appreciative, of them being shouted out. And that was the same thing with Margot and Diane from San Antonio Missions Indian Descendants that you and Donnie attended the Fry Bread social. They were like, "Oh, this is so cool. We're getting a little more exposure," and they definitely appreciated that. And I'm certain that they will be having that Fry Bread social again um, in November. So I'll definitely let you and Donnie know about it. Uh, Also, let uh, I'll message. He's no longer in the chat. He left earlier. Is Matt out here? He's out of Vernon, Texas. He's not very far away. Uh, Probably will meet up with him once he's recovered enough from the injury he had. Uh, he might be even interested in visiting something like that. So I definitely will let y'all know about that. Trying to push more into the center. It's getting to be a lot less now. Definitely getting that brush pile lower. Oh yeah, definitely. Also, Hala being in San Antonio, it's definitely the breakfast taco capital of the United States. Of course, there's a lot of debate of it, and I'm also being very biased. But Mexican food is huge here. Yeah, now that this brush is gone, I need to do some work on this thing. I need to do some weed killing. Use the 500,000 BTU torch to burn the weeds off to a point, sterilize the ground, and then start using the pre-emergent. And I may till this decomposed granite up a little bit, till it up, do a little removal of the roots and stuff that are underneath it, and then yeah, that's what I'll do. You know. Also, I need to do some of that to the front yard too. But at least I got the stuff all my trimmings and stuff. I'm getting it all burned away. Oh yeah. Yeah, but you know, it's something to do. You need to keep your body active. You need to keep your mind active. So, yeah, work is just one of those things. But also, work is another four-letter word. But you know, it's not work if you're enjoying it. You know. Yep. Now what's kind of cool? I have been hiking with Troy and Donnie from Barton's RV in Uvalde, and the one thing they always say I'm hard to keep up with. But I'm beginning to think that's not so much the case. I'm beginning to lose a step or two. But then again, being over 60 years old and being able to get on the hiking trails and do some miles. Oh, that sounds delicious. Definitely good stuff. You know, that also makes me think of something else. Joanne and I are probably going to do another Taco Tuesday video. Also, Joanne started doing more recording, and she has a thrifting video she wants me to post. And I initially posted it, but then I got a copyright, not a strike on it, but they're saying they're gonna delete that part of the video. Well, I was, as do I, Troy. I enjoy meeting up with you. But I said instead of them deleting part of the video with the copyright, I said, you know, I still had the draft of the video, so what we'll probably do when, you know, one of these evenings or over the weekend, I'll have Joanne do the voiceover on it, and then I can do some added effects to it. But she does some really good videos. But she did forget one thing. She took it in the vertical instead of the horizontal. So when that video goes up, it's going to be in the vertical. But that's okay. It's fine. We'll post it like that. And I actually created my channel to support her and the Humano Nation, you know. That was cool, Barry. Meeting up with me is easier than keeping up with me. I don't know on the Crystal Cave hike. I think I had to keep up with Donnie more than him keeping up with me. But then again, part of it was some of my strategy of taking videos. You know, I kind of would put me behind, or sometimes I'll go ahead of people and set up the camera and then do something else. Also, another thing I like to do when I'm in a meetup with someone and we're doing a collaboration, I want to definitely make sure that person is a big part of that video. I mean, they taken the time to meet up with me. You know, I'm gonna take the time and make sure that they are on the video. Yeah, finding me. That was the Alamo, but I was getting the messages from the text messages. We're at the gift shop, and I'm all around the gift shop, and I'm not finding anyone. Hey, but it still turned out to be such a fun day. How many hours were we together, Troy? About 6, 7 hours. You know, it didn't even seem very long. You know, we just had so much fun. It was it was a great day. You know, great day and great great good group of guys. You know. Also, Troy, when Angela can get around, you know, I would really like Joanne and Angela to meet each other. I mean, yeah, I already know they have some similar interests. I think that would be so cool. Yeah, I thought it was funny when those old ladies were teasing Donnie too. That ended up being a hilarious situation. Where they say, "Do you know who we are?" I said, "No." And they're like, "We don't know who you are either." Yeah, yes, definitely, but when she's able, you know. And I'm certain it will happen. What we have even talked about, say the next time we go to the powwow in Corpus Christi, like that in September, we're kind of like, hey, let's head down there and stay a night or two, you know, and we we could do something like like that, meet up then, you know. Uh, what we do in September is we go and visit a powwow in Corpus Christi, and Troy lives in Corpus, and we'll meet up there. That's why we would do it like that. Oh, that would be so cool, you know. Also, if we're there for a couple of days, we could also go and meet up with Dennis. You know, I met Dennis when he was at that one place here in town. I met him there. You know, well, it's kind of cool. I knocked on the door of the place he was staying at. He's like, "Come in." I walked in. He recognized me right away. Hey, John. Hey, welcome in. Good to see you. Yes, I think he would. And it was really cool to meet up with Dennis. John has some really cool videos. Oh, Oklahoma and New Mexico. Oh, right. Let me just grab the shovel again. Starting to drizzle here again pretty good. All right. I'm getting pretty close to having all that brush burned up. You know, no piles on the outside. Now I'm at the last of the Mohegans on that. I'll be right back. There'll be one thing I want to do. Great way to dispose of a pizza box. And I have to do this. Huh. You know what? I probably shouldn't have done that, thinking how late it is, but that'll be about all I do on that. Hello, Emily. Welcome in. Kind of thought of that after the fact, thinking, it's kind of late out here. I shouldn't have been doing that. Yeah, what I was doing with this, I had I had some, the trees and shrubs in the front yard, and late last summer and early last fall, I trimmed a bunch of it up, but it was so dry here over the winter that I didn't dare light the fire pit. But we've been getting pretty much steady rain since Saturday, from thunder showers to from mist to drizzle to light rain. And even while doing this right now, it was misting. So I decided to get rid of all that brush. But that's my reason for lighting up the fire pit tonight. Have conditions where you know the fire won't go anywhere, and and I was able to get the majority of this brush burned out. Of course, tomorrow I'll come out and find that I missed something laying back here, but that will just be kindling for a later fire, lighting the fire up later on. At least I got the majority of this stuff done. I had been wanting to get rid of that stuff for a while. Well, the next time I light this fire pit up, I will be using some decent wood on it, and have a good fire going. Also, the other thing is I had some of that fencing wood that needed to be disposed of. So, I mean, it's wood; it'll burn. Just doesn't smell as good as a decent wood fire because I got a good stash of wood you know, behind the shed here. I mean, it's hackberry and elm, and a lot of mesquite. Definitely a better burning fire. Well, thank you, Troy, and you have a good night. It's good to see you, and I know we'll be meeting up again very soon. Take care and have a good night. Yeah, all I got left in here now. I mean, there is some of the brushy stuff still there. It's burning away. But earlier, I mean, I had those big old piles of it, and I'd throw it on there. They're not cut to size. They would burn in half, and then I would push them back into the fire. But at least I got all of that stuff gone. Couldn't touch it for had it there since September. More than 6 months, and I couldn't burn it, couldn't touch it. I I was so afraid of lighting the fire over the fall and winter, because we were so dry. Yeah, once this brush goes up, you know, that is the last of it. You know, I'd been working on this, probably a good half hour before I even started the live stream. I've been on here for almost 2.5 hours, so it was about 3 hours of fooling with this, and there's probably some stragglers around the yard that I missed, but once this really burns up, this will be that'll be the end of that, and hopefully, maybe in a week or so, I'll be able to do another live stream around the fire pit, where I'm actually burning some decent wood, even though some of the wood, I mean, it's not good for anything except burning, is like the hackberry, but the smells like really good wood burning, But since all the fencing material got burned up, I mean, and I'm just burning the plant wood here, not the treated wood. It doesn't smell that bad because that other stuff had a tarry smell to it when it was burning. Of course, that's pressure treated lumber, and of course, you don't even want to be breathing the smoke from it. But at least that's gone. Now you probably could do some marshmallows on this since it's just some of the brushy wood burning. But if I was to do some marshmallows or roast some hot dogs, I would like it to be over a good wood. I think the hackberry would be passable to do it with. I also got a bunch of mesquite wood. That would be even better to do that roasting of some marshmallows on, making some really good s'mores out of it. You know. Also, another thing I use the fire pit for is the delivery boxes. When I get a Amazon or Walmart delivery, I use the boxes to start a fire. What I'll do is I'll take the delivery boxes and if I've been cutting or splitting wood and there's a bunch of the bark or the twigs with it, I'll pack the box full of that and just make it into a kindling box. It's also a great way to dispose of those boxes. Okay, well, good night, Richard, and thank you for coming in. So, if you do one thing, Richard, make a copy, comment on one of my shorts. Want to make sure I am definitely connected to you, you know, and that way, you do stuff on live streams, you try to do something else and it'll kick you out of the stream. I just want to make for certain, you know, just say, make a comment, say hi, and that way I'll double check, you know, because pulling it back off of a live stream is kind of funny, you know. I'm also kind of new at the live stream, so I definitely don't have the ins and outs on it, but I'll figure it out. Now it's actually picked up to a light rain out here, so the fire's steaming up now too. But I got such a good coal base in here that it would take a deluge of the rain to put the fire out. Okay, thank you, Richard. Yeah. All right, good night. Yeah, thank you for coming in and take care. Yes, since Saturday, we have gotten quite a bit of rain. You know, some of the areas nearby have gotten up to 6 to 7 inches. I think in my area about 2 to 3 inches, and it's still raining right now. You know, kind of annoying drizzly rain the whole time I've been doing this live, but it was a great time to get rid of this brush. You know, I also had a soggy cardboard box I threw in there, and I think the thing is finally dried out enough to light up. So it's both a little smoky and steamy. Oh yeah, probably the same front that went through and has made you cold has made us raining. You know, but we we have needed the rain here. I mean, really badly. But later on this week, within a day or two, we'll be up in the 90s. So we'll be hot already. So I've been enjoying the temperatures. You know, uh, Saturday started in the mid 70s. You know, mid to upper 70s. Then it cooled down into the 50s later on, and Sunday and Monday we didn't even get out of the 50s, which is cool for South Texas this time of year. And today we never got out of the 60s. But tomorrow we'll probably be in the 80s, and then by Thursday in the 90s, and then another chance of rains popping up. Yeah, we're in that time of year where we could have days in the 60s or 70s, or we could have days that are well into the 90s, and it's very possible for us to be over 100 degrees this time of year. But when we get into the summer here, it's hot. It can be brutally hot. Yeah, our same here. We're very humid in San Antonio. No, because I think at the closest as a bird flies, We're about 110, 120 miles away from the Gulf, and we'll get that southeasterly wind, and we'll get very humid. You know. And during the summer, we'll be very humid and and we'll be up past 100 degrees with humidity. It gets miserable during the summer. But I tell you what, if it's in the 80s or 90s and you're very humid, it's hot. So, well, I'll tell you what, I have been on this live stream for over 2 hours. I definitely need to make a phone call, and I want to thank everybody that came in. It was good to see everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I hope everyone has a very good night. And everyone take care. I will see you on the next one. Good night, all.